6:35 p.m. and 47 seconds. Air traffic controller Henk ter Brakke realizes the signal from the jumbo has stopped. Up in the control tower, Henriette van Openen can see why. A column of flame and smoke reveals the jumbo has crashed. Marlena and Stanley Treudemann race for home. Suddenly, through the trees, they see a towering wall of flame.
Stan said to me, "Marlena, it's our flat." I said, "No, that's impossible."
On the 10th floor, bank worker Rinus de Haan regains consciousness. He staggers to his front door. To his horror, it won't budge. Shockwaves from the crash have shifted the frame and jammed the door shut. Rinus realizes he survived the crash, but now he could burn to death. There's no way out. Not even his cat can jump from the 10th floor.
I thought, this is the end. I thought if I come out, it'll be a miracle.
Andre Bos's apartment, 200 meters away, escaped the impact. Now he rushes to the crash site to see if he can help.
What you see is the enormous heart of the fire. You see flames come out of every house.
With no thought for his own safety, he smashes open doors which are jammed and locked. Entering some apartments would be suicide. There are too many flames. But in others, he rescues people who've been overcome by smoke. Still trapped in his 10th floor apartment, Rinus de Haan feels the temperature soaring as the blaze rages outside.
At that moment, it was 58 degrees Celsius already in my house. I was sweating pints.
Rinus fears he's got just minutes to live. But he can do nothing except pray that he and his cat will be rescued. Just when he thinks he's about to pass out, neighbors break in. They rush him from the inferno in the nick of time. "6:40 p.m. Less than 5 minutes after the crash, the first of 16 fire engines from across Amsterdam arrives at the scene. Brave local people like Andre Bos have already pulled many survivors from the crash zone. Now firefighters take over the rescue operation and tackle the inferno. News crews capture the scene as paramedics start to treat the injured. "50 minutes after the crash, Marlena still searches for her children. But no one has seen them. The terrible truth starts to sink in. She said goodbye to Guillermo and Graciela less than an hour ago and promised to be back soon. Now, all hope of seeing them alive again is fading.
At that moment, I felt as if I was dead myself. I felt as if I had died inside. Why did this have to happen? Why did my children have to go?
News of the disaster spreads around the world.
As many as 200 may be dead tonight after the worst air disaster ever in the Netherlands.
Dawn reveals a gaping hole in the building. The crash destroys 31 apartments on 11 floors. The official death toll is 43. including Captain Fuchs and his crew. To see if the terrorism theory stands up, investigators need to find the Jumbo's engines and its black boxes, which record technical flight data and cockpit conversations. But it's a daunting task. Even if they survived the crash and the 1100 degrees Celsius inferno, they now lie buried under a mountain of rubble.
The plane had been broken into so many pieces during the crash that we didn't know where to start.
Early the next morning, search teams start to sift through the mountain of wreckage. Investigators know they may face a long wait for clues. Then, Jan Kaspers, a detective with the Amsterdam police, tells them an extraordinary story. On the evening of the disaster, he and an old friend were enjoying a yacht trip on Gooimeer Lake, 10 kilometers east of Amsterdam. Their boat was moored right beneath LL 1862's flight path from Schiphol Airport. At 6:27 p.m., they're preparing dinner. Suddenly, they hear a loud bang.
What was that? Gasexplosie?
Kaspers rushes onto the deck. In the sky, he sees a 747. Beneath it, two objects are falling away.
At first I thought they were parachutes, and just as they were above the treetops, I realized that they might be airplane engines.
It's a startling revelation. Air crash investigator Frans Earhart immediately orders a team of divers to search Gooimeer Lake. Recovering the engines could solve the mystery. It's now clear to investigators that the two right-hand engines didn't simply fail.
Number 3 and number 4 engine inoperable.
They sheared off completely. Unable to see the engines from the cockpit, the crew had no idea what had happened. Now there's a new mystery facing the team. What could rip two 5-ton engines off a 747 simultaneously? The case for a terrorist ground-to-air missile or bomb now looks compelling. To prove this theory, investigators must recover the engines from the bottom of Gooimeer Lake and examine them for clues. Against all the odds, after just a few hours of searching, a diver gets a lucky break. He spots a massive chunk of aircraft debris. The team quickly identifies it as the outer engine from the 747's right wing. And there's another key find on land near the lake. Pieces from a 10-meter stretch of the same wing's leading edge. It's the team's first chance to find out why the engines fell off. They rush the wreckage to their labs. Scientists swab the engine and the chunks of wing for traces of the chemicals used in explosives. They examine the metal surfaces for the telltale micro-pitting caused by blast fragments. It takes 2 days. The analysis draws a complete blank. Investigators can find no evidence of an explosion, nor any other clue to why the engine broke away. It's a dead end. Now the investigators' only chance to solve the mystery is to find the 747's inner engine in the hope that it holds the key, or to locate one of the plane's black box flight recorders at the crash site. The Dutch Navy joins the search for the inner engine. It deploys 2 specialized salvage vessels, sonar, and more divers. But after 2 more days, they find nothing. The investigators are worried. With every passing hour, crucial evidence is slipping away.
The water would start corroding the parts, and because of that, we were keen to find it as soon as possible.
The news is equally bleak at the crash site. Search teams can find no trace of either of the 747's critical black boxes.